Dishonesty is a no-no, and it is one of the signs of a toxic relationship. If you're in a relationship with someone who is dishonest, they will just dribble you. They'll keep dribbling you around, and then you'll never have anything to say, right? You wouldn't even want to have anything to say. Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to Neniverse. If this is the first time you're seeing my face, you are highly welcome to my channel. You know, Neniverse is about, my name is Mabel Nene. I am a lawyer and I am a YouTuber based in Abuja. So if you are a lover of relatable everyday today happenings around you and stuff that you can learn from while having fun, then you're actually at the right place. Yeah. Neniverse is actually about lifestyle, it's about marriage, it's about relationship, it's about self-improvement, self-development, it's about life in general and everything in between. So don't make this the last time you're seeing this face by kindly subscribing to my channel and then turning on all notifications so you'll be the first to get notified whenever I drop my videos. And to my returning subscribers, the real MVPs, thank you guys for constantly watching, constantly viewing, commenting and all that. Thank you so much for remaining subscribed. So in today's video, I'll be sharing with you some signs that you are in a toxic relationship or signs of a toxic relationship, right? Yeah, so without further ado, let's just go right into the video of today. Hey guys, welcome back. So like I said, in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you signs that you are in a toxic relationship. That is one thing. I am a very big fan of a healthy relationship or healthy relationships. I love everything love and everything that love represents. And I'm also a very big fan of healthy relationships. Now, toxic relationships are something that everyone should avoid. Like, you should really try to avoid toxic relationship or toxicity or toxic people. You should try to avoid toxic relationships because so many people have gone down the rail, so many people have been emotionally damaged, you know, so many people have gone through stuff just because they are in a relationship with a toxic person. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you some signs of a toxic relationship or signs that you are in one, and you know what to do if you can relate to these signs, right? You know what to do. So number one sign that you are in a toxic relationship, or number one sign of a toxic relationship, is abuse. Abuse. You know, when people hear abuse, the first thing that comes to mind is physical abuse. Like someone beats you up, someone is giving you some punches on your face, or someone is, you know, abuse is actually more than physical. There is emotional abuse, there is verbal abuse. If you're in a relationship with someone who abuses you, not just physically, but emotionally, abuses you verbally, someone talks to you in a manner that you would have to go and sleep thinking about what that person has said to you, and you're supposed to be in a relationship with this person, how does that even work? We're supposed to be some kind of lovebirds or doing some love fun thing, but here you are abusing me verbally, you are abusing me emotionally. I'm going to give you an instance of an emotional abuse. You know, for instance, we are having a conversation or we are having an issue. Let me use the word gaslighting. Yeah, gaslighting, or when someone actually ghosts you, that's an emotional abuse. We are having a problem, or we have a problem, but you are not telling me what the problem is, but you decide to keep it to mind. You decide to ghost me, you decide to ignore me for days, for months, you know, something like that, and then you come up the next time and try to ask for settlement, or you try to like turn the whole table on the next person, something like that. That's some kind of emotional abuse, and it is a very terrible one. Why would you want to, you know, abuse someone emotionally, someone you think or you tell them that you love them, but you're abusing them emotionally? How does that even work? Physical abuse, obviously, this one is so rampant. Even though some people tell you that I love when he hits me, I love when he hits me, I love when he slaps me, when he tries to apologize, you know, he apologizes with this gift, he sends me this money, he buys me this good stuff, this Gucci bag and all that stuff. Are you guys serious? Are you serious? Now you're asking yourself how you want to leave. You cannot leave because you feel like there's so many things you're going to get from this relationship. There's so many things you're enjoying, you know, chivalry, all this kind of stuff. But you're getting the beating. How does that even work? Like, for how long do you want to continue like that? Physical abuse is like a no-no, and that's like a sign of a toxic relationship. In a relationship with someone who hits you physically, who abuses you emotionally, who abuses you verbally, that's a sign of an abusive relationship, and it is not a good one. So you either talk about it with the person or you know what to do. Yeah. Number 2 sign that you are in a toxic relationship, or number 2 sign of a toxic relationship is poor communication. A lot of people might want to raise their eyebrows right now, like, how is poor communication a sign of a toxic relationship? Well, sorry to bust your bubble. Poor communication is actually a sign of a toxic relationship. Now, poor communication is like a foundation. It's actually the foundation of a toxic relationship, if you ask me. Because how do you even want to be in a relationship with someone and you do not communicate? How do you say you love someone and you don't tell them how exactly you feel, how you think things should be done, how you think, you know, how do you not even communicate? Now, when you don't communicate to this person how you feel or how you think things should be, you know, it begins to plant some kind of, you know, you're beginning to plant the toxicity. You're planting it unknowingly, because from that poor communication, it transcends to something bigger, it moves to something higher, and then, you know, toxicity comes into the relationship. You guys are no longer talking to each other, nobody's listening to anybody, nobody's even wanting to talk about the issue. It becomes toxic, and from there it leads to toxic actions. From that poor communication, it transcends to toxic actions. The person begins to act in a funny way. The person begins to, you know, react in some funny way that would eventually lead to toxicity. So poor communication is one sign of a toxic relationship. Yeah. So if you are having some poor communication issues or communication issues, I really think you should try to work on it. I know I'm not a therapist or like a relationship expert, but I kind of feel that communication is like a foundation to any relationship, even not just dating or marriage, to you like normal people. Communication, it's difficult to it's a problem when you don't communicate properly to people, and it's also a problem when the person whom you're trying to, you know, make this communication with is not understanding what you're trying to say. So there's just a little gap there that, if you're not a mature person, or if you are not someone who is a bit patient, it may be a problem in a relationship. Any sort of relationship, human relationship, dating, marriage, or whatsoever. Yeah, so poor communication is one of the signs of a toxic relationship. Number 3 sign of a toxic relationship is disrespectful language. Yeah. Now, it is very unlikely that someone who is speaking to you disrespectfully would, you know, change later, becomes respectful later. It's not like it's totally impossible. That's why I said it is unlikely. When you build a relationship on the foundation of disrespect, you have someone who disrespects you, maybe from the way they talk to you, the way they act towards you, you would literally know that this person is disrespecting you. This thing is something that is very, I don't know, this thing is something that is really clear. It's just that we get into some relationships that we are getting some stuff and we will find it difficult to leave, so we're just there taking all of the disrespect because of things we feel in our head. If I leave this relationship, I'm going to lose a lot, it's going to tell so much on me. How am I going to do this? How am I going to get this? You know, stuff like that. Disrespect. Now the thing is, the more you are you know, taking the disrespect, the more you are enabling more disrespect tomorrow. It's never going to get lesser. It's never going to get you know, it's never going to get lesser than it is actually, if you look at it. And then we don't really blame these people who disrespect others. We don't really blame these people who are in relationships and they disrespect their spouse or their partner, or you know. So some of these people don't even know that they are disrespecting you, right? Most of these people grew up in backgrounds that, you know, maybe that's the way their fathers talk to their mothers, or that's the way their elderly ones talk to the younger ones talk to their elderly ones. So they did not really grow up with this mentality of this, I'm not supposed to speak to this person in some manner, in some vague language and stuff like that. So it's up to you now to be the bigger person. Try to let this person know that I am not cool with the way you are disrespecting me in this manner or in that manner. You need to talk. That's where communication comes in. I always say this. So try to be the bigger person and try to talk to this person. Now, when you are doing this, try not to do this in a disrespectful manner, because the both of you are being the same people right now. And someone is disrespecting you and you in turn trying to correct the person or have a one-on-one talk with the person about this disrespect. And then you in turn start disrespecting the person or talking to the person in a disrespectful manner. That makes the both of you, if you look at it, that actually makes the both of you. Now, but if you talk to this person calmly and with love and try to pass the information that I do not like the way you talk to me, I don't like the way you address this thing, I think you should really try to address the issue, because if you don't, I really don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what the case is going to be, but try to do your part by actually, you know, talking about this thing, letting the person know that you are not comfortable with this disrespect, and you know where to, you know, draw the line, basically. So disrespectful language is one of the signs of a toxic relationship, or one of the signs that you are in a toxic relationship. Number 4 sign of a toxic relationship, or number 4 sign that you are in a toxic relationship, is bad temper. Bad temper or bad temperament. Now, sometimes we don't understand that this is bad temper because it's not directly or directed towards us. So you're like, it's not a big deal, it's not me, you know, he loves me and stuff, so he doesn't really bring the whole bad temper thing around me. But that's very funny, because one day it's going to get to you. There's something my mom would always say. She would always say that whatever you see in a relationship, it's going to be magnified in the marriage. Like if you see something little right now in a relationship and you're like, oh, it's not a big deal, it's going to like get bigger in the marriage. And I don't know how you really want to deal with it, if you ask me. So bad temper is one of the signs of a toxic relationship. Now, it may not be directly or directed at you, but you should understand that the way this person react to things, the way this person, you know, react to things surrounding him, the way this person reacts to people, you know, how does this person talk to a janitor, how does this person react to a waiter, how does this person really react around people around them, how does this person act when they are pissed. Well, if you see this as not a big deal and you're like, I mean, everybody have their own tempers, you know, all those melancholy, all those this, that, there's their temperaments and all that, you know, people just try to use these things as excuses to do some things that are not even supposed to be so, if you ask me, right? So like bad temper, if you do not discuss it, if you do not try to address it, it would eventually get to you. And guess what? When it gets to you, the person will eventually turn the table. And you'll be hearing stuff like, you were the one who pissed me off. I mean, you knew I was like this before you eventually decided to date me. You knew, you saw these things before you eventually decided to marry me. So why is it a problem right now? They turn the table like, around and it begins to face you, and at that point you really don't have anything to say, and you hear stuff like, well, if you didn't do this, I would not have reacted in that manner. If you did not say this, if you did not do this, I would not have been pissed. Stuff like that. You see that the whole table is turning around right now. So bad temper is one of the signs of a toxic relationship, and the earlier you addressed it, the better for the both of you, or the relationship you are in, your marriage, your normal human relationship, and all that. Another sign that you are in a toxic relationship is dishonesty. If there is something I hate so much, it's a dishonest person in a relationship. Like, I feel like these are two people, two adults. You saw me, you liked me, you spoke to me, you wanted us to have something, we're having something going on. The least you could do, or you can do for the both of us, is be honest. At least I want to know what you do for a living, right? Don't try to tell me you do this for a living, whereas you do something else for a living. Don't try to tell me you are there, whereas you are here. Don't try to do this, whereas you are doing this. Like, I know we all have flaws and all, but dishonesty should not even be part of it. Like, I feel like if you love someone, you're going to be really open to the person. Totally. So when you're being dishonest about things about you, about your life, about the things you tell me, or you make promises to this person, but deep down in your heart, you know you're being dishonest about that promise. You know you are lying to this person. You know you are catching crews. You know you are, like, do you get the point? Dishonesty is a no-no, and it is one of the signs of a toxic relationship. If you're in a relationship with someone who is dishonest, they will just dribble you. They'll keep dribbling you around, and then you never have anything to say, right? You wouldn't even want to have anything to say, because in your mind you're like, okay, he said this, but you are seeing something different. And it happens like 1 million times. You're seeing it happening, but you cannot just get past it. Why not talk about it? If you can't talk about it, or if it's something you cannot deal with, why are you still there though? Why? These are the signs of a toxic relationships, and many other signs. There is something that works. It works. It really works. Trust your intuition. Trust your intuition. Trust your gut. Trust whatever your mind is telling you about a relationship that you are in or you're about to get into. I think you should really trust that, because most of the times your guts don't lie to you, your intuition don't lie to you, right? If you are in something with someone, you love this person, or this person loves you so much, this person is head over heels in love with you, but deep down you're feeling some type of way, you're not happy, there are just some things, some kind of reservations that you are not. That's your intuition, for real. That is your mind telling you that something is off. And if you are trying to overlook these things, for real, I know that people change, I know that nobody's 100%, but at least there should be a little standard. I don't know, there should be a little standard that you have set. You've told yourself that this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I don't want. Nobody is perfect, don't forget. So it doesn't have to be 100%, but just like the main things, the core things that you feel like it's going to be like a problem, it mustn't really be about just these things that I've mentioned. It must not just be poor communication. It mustn't just be abuse. It mustn't just be dishonesty, disrespect. If your intuition is not cool with this person, with this relationship, you know what to do, right? And I hope you've been able to learn 1 or 2 things from this video. And if you have, please don't fail to give me a thumbs up, and then subscribe to my channel, share this video, and then comment. Let's talk in the comment section. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to see you guys on the next one. Love you. Bye.